Good morning, everyone, from Jeff's Little Engine Service.
So here we go again.
Another common problem on Briggs and Stratton engines, and I'll show you right here. So this is their Quantum style engines. They made a bazillion and a half of these, and as you can see, I just worked on it, filled up the gas tank, and we're leaking at the seam here and dripping, as you can see. So this is a real common failure, and what we have here is the seam in the gas tank, this seam that goes all the way around, splits and leaks. I think Briggs and Stratton actually warrantied this situation. I don't know how long that warranty lasted, if you could still return gas tanks and get them back. Yeah, I don't know if you can still return them and get a brand new one from Briggs or not, but I'm pretty sure they recalled these and supplied replacements for those customers that had this problem. And that's because Briggs and Stratton is a good company. I always recommend Briggs. Well, I just had to show you all this one. Check it out. I think that's the dirtiest gas tank I've ever seen. Has something growing in there? I mean, what's going on, man? Hey folks, here's what the shop looks like in January. It's freezing outside. I have a few projects in here, a few too many projects. There's my workbench. You can barely even see it in there. And there's my other workbench. You can barely even see it. I've been cleaning all winter and trying to get organized in here, which is what I say every couple of months. I wanted to show you some of my favorite things that I have here in my modest little shop. One is this here. It's an old Briggs and Stratton book. It weighs about 50 pounds. And I got it from an old man named Herb Schaefer, who I met at a garage sale here in my town. And apparently he was a small engine repair guy for, quite a while. And he was very nice, and this is one of the things I bought from him there at that garage sale. Another book that I find real useful is this one here. This is my NGK spark plug book. This one's from 2014, but it's still working good for me today here in 2019. Hey man, send me a new one, guys. Sheesh. Anyways, yeah, so in this book here, it's the non-automotive catalog. So it tells you everything. Motorcycles, lawnmowers, pressure washers, boats, snowmobiles. And it has cross-reference charts in here from, how to convert NGK to Autolite to Champion, blah, blah, blah. It lists all outdoor power equipment in the engines and the spark plugs. Motorcycle fitment, ATV fitment, lawnmowers. I mean, it lists a bunch of lawnmowers here. So it's a real handy book to have. And I'm a big fan of NGK spark plugs, folks. A lot of information, and you can always find your spark plug that was factory recommended in this book right here. I figured I'd show you all some of the other books I have up in here in case you're interested. A few more on this side. What lurks inside the rototiller gas tank? Some sort of gas tank creature, or is it a cigarette butt? How does this happen, people? How does this happen? Hey everybody, from Jeff's Little Engine Service. So I know a lot of you wonder why I am not a big fan of Kohler. Well, here's a perfect example. We have a little Kohler XT675 engine on a Husqvarna HU675 AWD, so that's something else I'm going to get into. All-wheel drive on a lawnmower seems kind of ridiculous, but anyways, we're here to talk about this Kohler. So we've lost the 50-cent plastic cover that holds the air filter in place, but guess what? Kohler doesn't offer it for sale. Nope. They basically offer a updated kit because their engineers couldn't figure out how to put a plastic cover on in the first place, so now you have to buy this $25 conversion kit that gives you a new backing plate here. So we'll replace this, and it has a little different style cover. As you can see, it mounts with 2 tabs instead of the 1. I see a lot of these that are missing, as I say, because the Kohler designers couldn't get it straight the first time, so now they have to have an updated kit, and instead of a $3 part, you now have to buy a $25 part. And it's a perfect example of why I say Kohler is a piece of crap. You know, the designers should have been able, or excuse me, the engineers should have been able to get this straight the first time around. It's a pretty simple concept. You know, you got to have an air filter cover, and the fact that they can't get it right the first time kind of speaks volumes about the rest of the engine. But yeah, so this conversion kit is 25 bucks. I think I paid for it. So now not only do you have to buy a more expensive part, but you have to pay me, a mechanic, to install it.
Thumbs down, Kohler. Thumbs down.
So let's take a quick look inside my toolbox. This drawer here is the special tool drawer, and in here are a lot of little specialty tools, like flywheel removal knockoff tools. That's one there, and there's the other size. We have a nut splitter here. If you're not familiar with that, if you have a stripped off nut, you put this thing on and tighten it down, and it cracks that nut in half. Here we have an old school condenser tool. This removes the wire from the condenser. You put it around the condenser and push it down, and then you can pull the wire out. Of course, this is a chain breaker tool. Pretty heavy duty one. I've had this for years and never had to replace the little bit there, so pretty tough. What else do we have here? Yeah, I use this a lot, of course. This is for valve stems on tubes or tires. And let's see, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, here, this tool here is for carburetors, and it removes the float needle seat, and it's a tecumseh tool. That's the part number there. That's the end that you push the seat in, and this little hook end here is the end that you push down and you pull the old seat out. So that's a pretty handy little tool too. Of course, I have my gasket scraper here. I found this at a garage sale. I thought it was pretty cool, although I don't think I've gapped a plug in 20 years. They all come pre-gapped nowadays, but it's a neat old Champion spark plug tool. The file and everything. But as I said, I haven't had to gap a spark plug in 20 years. And this is a Briggs and Stratton puller here. Oh, this is kind of an interesting tool. So when your Briggs and Stratton starter motor gear gets stripped out, this tool allows you to take the little ring off, the little snap ring, so you can pull the gear off. And then to reinstall the snap ring, you use this little tool here. You just put it over the shaft and hammer it down, and that you put the circlip in that end, you put it over the starter motor shaft, and you just hit it with a hammer, and that knocks it into place. So that's a pretty cool set of tools, both for starter motors. What else do we have? These little 90-degree screwdrivers can come in handy. I have a few of those in here, as you can see. Every once in a while I'll need to use one of those. This here is a seal puller. Don't try and use it for a bearing puller, otherwise you'll break off the tip like I did there. What else do we have? This little magnet comes in handy quite a few times. Of course, you've got to have your church key. Alright. This drawer is just kind of an extra supply drawer. This is my measuring tool drawer. I have my calipers and all sorts of measuring devices here. Anytime I need to measure something, air pressure or whatever, I can find my tool in here. And here's my glasses because I'm getting old. And we have some wrenches in this drawer. More pliers. It's my crescent wrench, or excuse me, my box end wrench drawer. And I also have some Torx bits in here. So as you can see, I'm kind of messy. You're not going to find a guy in a lab coat with perfectly organized tools on this channel. No siree. This is the socket drawer. This is my random drawer. Got my torque wrenches in here, as you can see. And this is my Allen wrenches and my torque wrenches, metric and American. Hammers. Just spare organizing stuff here. Here's my drill bits, my tap and die sets. I have a metric set and an American set. That's the metric set there. Oh, I also have my extractors here. And down here I have some of my various pullers, oil filter wrenches, that kind of stuff. This one's locked. I'm not sure what's in there. No, it's empty. I'm just kidding. So in here I call it my hot box. Normally I keep my heat gun in here and anything else that could be hot or gets hot when I'm using it. In here is my punches. When I make gaskets I use these to punch the holes. You can see I've been making a lot of gaskets with that one. Yeah. Chisels, punches. Here's my screwdriver drawer. This is my impact wrench. A lot of you don't think I have one, but I have one. I only use it when I really need it. And here's some of the snap ring pliers, electrical tools. And here's some sandpaper, wire brushes, scrapers. Empty. And this is my paint gun drawer. Yeah, so that's a quick tour of my toolbox. Up here is just kind of random crap. The door doesn't stay open anyways, so it's where I have my propane torch, my pressure compression test gauges. Got a pretty cool picture of Elvis up in there. Oh man. My work gloves. Yeah, that sort of stuff. And this isn't my only toolbox. I have tools all over the place, but this is my main toolbox.
This is where all the magic happens.
Just wanted to show you this other tool I use a lot, and it's for my riding lawnmowers. I just push them up, push the front wheels in there, and I'm able to jack them up. It's pretty nice. This ice cream truck is for sale, by the way. It does not run. $900, sleeping cat not included.